Nick here, and welcome back to another Flash episode review. My thoughts on tonight's episode of Flash, titled "The Darkness and the Light." And just to get started, I actually really enjoyed this episode. It kind of felt like one of those filler episodes for me, but I felt like they're setting up a lot of things, for episodes moving forward. And to start things off, the things that I liked about it, I really liked the whole angle between the whole Dr. Wells and Jay thing, both trying to be the mentor to Barry, to be like that mentor figure for him, and seeing that this Earth 2 version of Wells is kind of a dick, and that even Cisco points it out. So to see that that dichotomy of the Wells that we knew from first season, and then seeing how he is in this current season, and with him being a different him being the doppelganger from Earth 2. And seeing how personality-wise he's completely different, and he has more of a dick, but he's also, you see some similarities in and personality and how they act, but it's still a completely different character. And I like seeing that and how his interactions are with Jay, considering it's more of an antagonistic relationship between the two of them, and that's something that I really enjoy seeing. And yeah, so there's that, and I like the way that he used Linda Park in this episode, not just as Dr. Light, but the fact that we're seeing more and more of her. I feel like they didn't utilize her well last year at all, and I was really annoyed as a fan that they only used her as a love interest for Barry, and that was literally it. After that, that was pretty much, she was just gone, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, now she's back, coming back in here and there, but now having her own episode, even this episode, and then she's coming back next episode. So see, I really like her as Dr. Light. I mean, yeah, there's a different version of the Dr. Light from the comics, but I still think it's cool that they're doing their own thing with Dr. Light as a character, kind of like what they're doing with Zoom. We don't know who it is. It's not based on any specific character from the comics except by name. And seeing Linda, it's definitely an interesting thing to see. So when I'm watching it, it's I can believe Linda as Dr. Light. And she's not like an evil character. You see, there's still some good in her. She just doesn't want to deal with Zoom. She's trying to get away from Zoom, and the only way she can really do that is by killing her other self, and that creates a lot of interesting conflict. And the fact that they didn't kill off her character, which I was worried about, that she's in the pipeline, she's in the metahuman prison or whatever. And I'm glad that they're saving her for future episodes. Hopefully she sticks around, because Dr. Light, at least in my opinion, is one of those characters that, unlike Atom Smasher, you should probably stick around. I mean, I wanted them to keep Atom Smasher around, but they didn't, and they killed him off. And I really would want them to do that with more of these characters, especially since some of them have bigger parts in the overall DC universe. And since they're not going to be using a lot of these characters in the movies and stuff, I want them to keep some of these characters here on the show, so that way they delve into them a little more and make the show a little more interesting. So I think Dr. Light overall, I think, was a really big positive for me. Elise Zhao, who is the actress playing her, I think it's really cool seeing her playing the two different parts. And again, I think she pulls off Dr. Light really well. So there's that. And I even like a little bit of her still cheering on Iris, because I feel like there's still a lot of Iris haters out there, and people hating her for no reason, calling her annoying and blah 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 and all these different things. So to have the characters in the show, even Joe being oh, I gotta fill in Iris on this. Now they're there's no secrets being kept anymore, and then Barry confronting Jubbo, not telling him about Wells being back. The fact that everyone's being more honest now, other than the whole Barry and Patty thing, but I'll get into that a little later. But seeing how everyone's being honest with each other, especially with Iris, because everyone kind of treated Iris like shit last season, and the fans as well as the characters in the show. It was nice seeing that in this episode. So hopefully that means better things, in future episodes. And definitely the biggest thing in one of my favorite parts of this episode was the relationship between the Earth 2 Wells and Cisco, and seeing how much of a dick this Wells is, and the fact that he blatantly tells everyone, oh yeah, he's a metahuman, he has his little metahuman detector watch or whatever, holds it up to Barry, holds it up to Caitlin, which oddly enough, showing Caitlin oh, she's not a metahuman. So that kind of backs up my theory that maybe that Killer Frost is actually Caitlin from Earth 2. So they could be pulling that sort of thing here, and maybe Killer Frost eventually kills Caitlin and then stays on Earth 1 to be the villain. So maybe we'll see what happens there, but that's just a minor thing. And then when the detector finally goes off on Cisco, and everyone finally finds out that he has powers, it's finally that's one of the things that have been bothering me so far this season. It's why doesn't he want to tell anyone? Like, I understand, like, he has his worries about it, but, like, these are your friends. Like, you're part of, like, a superhero team. Like, there's no reason you should be, like, keeping this from your friends. One of them who is a superhero, he should be the one who understands the most, considering the guy who gave you your powers is the guy who killed the main guy's mom. Like, you know? So I don't know why, like, Cisco felt the need to really keep it from everyone, you know? I understand his worry about being scared, but still, like, be open with your friends. Like, not just something that bothered me, and the fact that everyone knows now. Again, going back to what I said earlier about everyone finally being open with each other. Just no more secrets. Like, I'm tired of that kind of crap on superhero shows. It's too played out. Just let everyone know, and so as fans in storyline, we can always keep moving forward. And I did think it was kind of cool that they finally named Cisco as Vibe, but it's like he doesn't have like control of his powers yet. He doesn't have a suit or anything yet. So I think it was a little premature naming him, but I still think the whole fact that, like, you know, Barry was the one who named him was kind of cool, because no, we haven't really seen Barry name any of the villains yet, or anyone for that matter, besides himself. But even then, you can kind of blame or give Oliver that credit of naming Flash from the pilot. But that's just a minor thing. But overall, I mean, I really like Cisco and Wells in this episode. So there's that. And I really like the fight between Dr. Light and Flash in the end when Barry was finally using the Speed Mirage effect. Something that I've been looking forward to as a fan ever since, you know, we first saw that last season with Reverse Flash. I was wondering, like, why hasn't Barry been able to do that yet? And they finally talked about it, like, you know, he hasn't been fast enough, and now it's just his powers evolving more and more and more. And it's like seeing these sort of things, like him phasing through stuff, like his power is developing more and more. It makes me kind of geek out as a fan because I see all this stuff happening in the comics and the cartoons and all that different stuff, and finally seeing it in live action, I'm like, it makes me giddy, it makes me nerd out. So seeing that is really nice. But again, really, really solid episode. Wasn't a perfect episode. Some of the things that bothered me, I've been saying this since the start of the season. I'm tired of the writers forcing the whole Barry and Patty thing. Like, just stop. They're not even being subtle about it. They're so in your face. Like, here's Barry's new love interest. Here's Barry's new love interest. You gotta like her. She's just like Barry, but a girl. Oh, she's cute. She's quirky. She's a science nerd, too. It's like, come on. Calm the fuck down. Like, seriously. Like, introduce a new romance, but do it, like, naturally. Don't force it on us. Like, that's why it's not enjoyable for me. Like, I like Patty as a character. I don't like the romance between her and Barry because it's rushed and it's forced, and I don't even like watching it. Like, I really don't. Like, Patty's one of those characters, like, so far she like forced her way into being part of the Metahuman task force, and then she forced her way into Barry's life, and then now she's like basically had to like force Barry to ask her out, and it's just like it's not like, I don't like seeing that. It's like, give me a good character. Don't like force this another stupid love interest storyline that we all know is gonna end. Like, even the producers said themselves it's gonna end. Like, I'm tired of seeing that kind of bullshit. Like, I really am. As a fan, like, I've seen it so many times on so many different shows, and it's just, I'm so beyond over it. It's not enjoyable for me at all at this point. So it's really one of those things that tunes me out of the show. And another thing that kind of bothered me, and this is going to be a little more nitpicky, I didn't like the way that Cisco asked out Kendra in the episode. Kendra, who was actually a hot girl, by the way. For those of you who didn't know, the girl that Cisco asked out is actually a hot girl from the comics. This is her first real introduction in the show. And obviously she's going to be a big player in Legends of Tomorrow and the crossover between Arrow and Flash this year. So this is her first real introduction to the character. And I don't know, like I don't really know how to feel about it because she was just kind of there. Just those two scenes of jitters. And yeah, and then, I don't know, I didn't like the whole date between Barry and Patty, like, kind of going back to what I said before. Like, I don't know, it felt like, I mean, I just didn't really care about watching it. And then at the end, when Barry kind of gets the sight back and he, like, opens up her coat, I'm like, whoa, dude, like, personal space. Like, that didn't seem like appropriate to me at all. All he was talking about was goodbye kissing. Like, opens her coat, oh yeah, this is burgundy. Like, what the, is that kind of a form of sexual assault? Like, I didn't, just no. Like, I didn't like that at all. I just felt like it made me really uncomfortable. Just no, Barry, no. So yeah, overall, I thought tonight was really, really solid episode. I'm really looking forward to what they do next week when they're finally bringing in Zoom to Earth 1. So I hope eventually we find out Zoom's identity sooner rather than later. So yeah, I think that'll be it from me. So yeah, if you guys like what you see here, go ahead and hit subscribe below. I review Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow every week, Monday through Wednesday. I'll be reviewing some movies coming up, so go check out those when they come out. And yeah, so again, that'll be it from me, guys. So until next week, have a good one.